Hello. I love Ebertfest. Welcome to 19th. How many film festivals begin with its very own organist? Thank you. Here we are. I remember year one, and there are some people who have been here since year one. We're going to recognize them tomorrow because I have some presents for them. But I would like to recognize some campus dignitaries. We'd like to thank President Timothy Killeen and First Lady Dr. Roberta Johnson Killeen. Will you please stand? We'd also like to recognize the College of Media Interim Dean, Wojtek Hajko Zyko, and his wife, Dr. Angiara Schwingel. Please stand. And I also see in the audience my good friend, the former dean, Jan Slater. Please stand. Because we're running a little late, I'm not going to do a lot of talking. Some of you will probably write to thank me. Chaz, thank God you didn't talk too much. But I want to show you a little something that someone they did. And while you're at Ebertfest, as you meet each other, you'll be able to do this. Ron, will you come out, please? So Ron and some of the guys have come up with a new, if some people do the bump to, if you think someone may have, you don't want to spread germs or anything, they do the, this kind of thing. Well, here at Ebertfest, we do the new thumb greeting. Thank you. So if you want to be in the know at Ebertfest, when you greet someone, just stick out your thumb and they, take their thumb too. I am fairly vibrating, and I mean that literally, because I get so much energy when I come up here and think about Roger standing on this stage year after year, and how Roger used to introduce each of the guests personally, and then he would conduct Q&As with them after it was over. And then, after the festival evening was over, he would take everybody to Steak and Shake and start all over again the next morning. Well, over the years, we haven't found one person who can do all of that stuff that Roger did. He had an inordinate amount of energy, but he also had an inordinate amount of intelligence and warmth and just love. This year, we are dedicating the festival to 4 principles. The first principle is directly taken from when Roger said, movies have the ability to generate empathy. They're like a giant empathy machine. And then we added other words to them that we felt were equally important: kindness, compassion, forgiveness. And we have a panel tomorrow morning where we have Ebert Fellows talking about empathy and compassion in the arts. That's over at the Hyatt Hotel at 9 o'clock. I hope you join us because our panels are free and open to the community. But there's another organization here that we're dedicating the festival to. And they've been with us and they've taught us so many things over the years. And not only have they taught us, but it's actually spread. They do a lot of things during the festival. And that's the Alliance for Inclusion and Respect. It's Lynn Canfield or Peter Tracy, are you here? Will you please stand? And the reason we dedicated the festival to this organization is because the work that they do in trying to eliminate the stigma attached to a certain identity, an identity of someone perhaps with a mental illness, or an identity of someone that's, for whatever reason, they feel like they're on the wrong side of the tracks. That's what the Alliance for Inclusion and Respect does. And to give people back their respectable identity and to let them know that they're just part of the human race. We're all in this together. Their name was formerly, I think, the Champaign County Alliance Against Anti-Stigma Alliance. Then their name changed a few times, but now I think of it as AIR, A-I-R, the Alliance for Inclusion and Respect. And it's so important in this political world that we find ourselves in to hang together, to know that you are your brother's keeper, you are your sister's salvation, and we are better only when we're all better together. So that's what this festival is dedicated to this year. So welcome to Ebertfest. Roger loved singing and he loved dancing. He loved to listen to it and he loved to sing himself. I heard someone sent me someone singing at the Jefferson Memorial, and I thought, we usually don't open the festival in a way that's this serious, but for this year, this is what I want to do. I'd like to introduce Jimmy Demers to sing God Bless America.
Can
I have, let's stand please.
Wow, a standing ovation before I sing. Thank you. I hope I can earn it. Last month I was, as Chaz said, at the Jefferson Memorial. It was after midnight, and I was with some friends who had never been. We went to all the different sites, and at each one, the Lincoln Memorial and the Jefferson Memorial, I would sing the song. And when I was singing at the Jefferson Memorial, a friend was taping me on her phone, and she shared it with some other friends, and somehow or other it ended up in Chaz's inbox, and so thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. the mountains and the prairies and the oceans white with foam. God bless America, our home, sweet home. God bless America. A home sweet home. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you.
That was also one of Roger's songs that he really enjoyed, and it made me think of how grateful I am to be able to stand here and talk to you for this, our 19th year. Because it's not just a film festival. It really is. We'll talk about this not tonight, but as we go on during the week. We have 24 people from around the country here who we call the Ebert Fellows because they went to different programs. They were mentored either at Sundance Institute or in Hawaii, at Telluride, in Los Angeles at the Film Independent, and other different places. But they came together because they want to continue the discussions about empathy and compassion and the arts. I have found over 19 years, now this makes me a little emotional too, that this audience has been so open-hearted and open-minded. This isn't my alma mater, it's Rogers. You welcomed me into the community. Those of you who come from out of town, you send notes and you just talk to each other out on the plaza. Some of you have met and gotten married here. You know what I'm going to say next. Some of you, I heard, made babies here. David Poland, I don't know if he's here tonight. But community means so much to me. Family means so much to me. I feel like after all these years, you are part of my community, and I'm part of yours. You are part of my family. And I'm part of yours. Thank you. I have one other thing before I introduce our movie tonight. As family, we do recognize things like birthdays. And there is someone celebrating a birthday, and she also just got married. She married one of the editors at RogerEbert.com, Matt Zolerseis, his new wife, Nancy Dawson. Happy birthday, Nancy. Where is she? Will you please stand? These are newlyweds. Stand, Matt. And it's not that we would do this all the time, but like I said, you're family, so. Tonight is a movie Roger would have been thrilled to see on the big screen. The pollen is pretty high, so my allergies have been bothering me, but this Virginia Theater is one of the most beautiful movie palaces anywhere. When I tell people, yes, when I tell people that we screen films in a movie palace that can seat 1,500 or 1,600 people, they don't believe it, because most of the other movie theaters around are sort of chopped up into, maybe 200 or 400 seats, and the directors can't believe that their film is going to be screened on a screen this big, and that we have the capability to screen 70 millimeter, 35 millimeter, Todd AO Vision, everything. And that's thanks to our projectionist, James Bond. Thank you, James. And so tonight, you are in for a real treat, because we are having a production of Hair. And we're going to let me introduce one of the producers first, Michael Butler, and then I'm going to bring the other producer and director, Michael Hausman, out to help me introduce the film. Michael Butler is a producer best known as the force who brought Hair from the Shakespeare Free Theater to Broadway. His involvement with theater also includes work on Lenny, The Golden Apple, West Side Story, Cantonville 9, and Reggae on Broadway. He is the producer of the movies You Are What You Eat and Hair, and to date he has done 31 productions of Hair, which in 2007 was voted the best musical in Los Angeles. Mr. Butler also operated a number of discos and a development and production company. We're so happy to have Michael Butler here. And now the other Michael, who's going to come on stage with me, Michael Hausman, also a career producer, has made his career in film production for nearly 4 decades. He had a long collaboration with Academy Award-winning director Milos Forman. The duo began their creative association with the directors Taking Off, for which Mr. Hausman was both production manager and associate producer. They worked together again on more titles, including Hair, Amadeus, Valmont, Man on the Moon, and many more. Michael Hausman has also produced the films of such leading directors as Robert M. Young, Robert Benton, Mike Nichols, and David Mamet. While continuing his producing career, he is a member of the board of directors of Duart Laboratories. He teaches at Columbia University's Graduate Film School and is co-chair of the producing concentration of Cuba's International School of Film and Television. Michael Hausman, will you please welcome both Michael Butler and Michael Hausman. Michael Butler will be on stage afterwards. Michael Hausman will welcome you to the stage now. And we're going to have you introduce the film.
Well, this is such a nice festival. I want to come back. There are other films I made. I could come back. So well organized. I've been to a number of festivals, but boy, you guys got yourself together, Chaz. I got to say, this is a great place. Hair was an interesting movie to make. It was not easy. It was shot in New York and in Los Angeles. I think it holds up. I know Roger gave it 4, so that's good. And I think it's contemporary. Some movies don't hold up, but let me know after if you think it has something to say about the world today, because that's probably why we made it in then. So enjoy the movie, and thanks for coming.